two things that I'll bet you thought were over: the presidential election, finally, and the Never Trump movement. Well, they're both popping up again in the last few days of this election year. In 2 weeks, all 538 members of the Electoral College are going to meet in their respective states to sign and certify a series of votes sent to Washington ahead of the inauguration. That officially makes the election official. Today, one of the Republican electors, a Texas paramedic named Chris Suprin, makes a national pitch through the New York Times, writing a column saying he wants to stop Donald Trump's march to the White House only weeks after saying he would cast ballots for the president-elect. What's going on here? He wrote in part, "The election of the next president is not yet a done deal. Electors of conscience can still do the right thing for the good of the country. Presidential electors have the legal right and a constitutional duty to vote their conscience. I believe electors should unify behind a Republican alternative." Chris Suprin joins me now. Well, thanks for being with us. First of all, who would be your alternative? Mike Pence?
I think Governor Pence has probably aligned himself too closely with Mr. Trump. One of the reasons why I'm no longer comfortable with Mr. Trump is his attacks on our institutions, including the First Amendment and the Constitution. He's attacked our free election process, and Mike Pence, unfortunately, added to that this weekend on the Sunday talk shows, talking about these phantom 3 million illegal votes that were cast. So I'm not sure Mike Pence would be my candidate. I'm looking for someone with executive experience. I am looking for someone with legislative experience, and perhaps the easiest person out there to identify would be John Kasich. I'm open to others, but really he's the low-hanging fruit who has those qualifications and has held leadership before.
Are you a party of one, or do you have any support in other states and in your own Texas delegation?
I'm a party of one. I wanted to go in 2 weeks to Austin and cast a ballot that I would be comfortable with on December 20th as well as December 19th. I'm not sure if other electors will come forward or not. I am sure that there are other electors who are not comfortable with Mr. Trump, but I'm not leading a movement. I'm trying to make sure I've got a clean conscience at the end of the day.
And are you at all affected by the fact that Hillary Clinton now has 2.5 million more of popular votes? I know this is an electoral college system, and that's what the Constitution sets up. But the fact that she has so many more popular votes than Donald Trump, does that affect it for you, or is this more about what he has done?
No, this is about Mr. Trump. With all due respect to Secretary Clinton, she ran her campaign and she ran it well. I am a Republican. I'm going to cast my ballot for a Republican. And for me, the popular vote is secondary to the Electoral College.
Well, Chris Suprin, we will follow this. Obviously, you don't have a whole lot of hope of having a president-elect John Kasich, but it is an interesting constitutional question. Do you think, by the way, that the Electoral College should be gotten rid of? Because now Al Gore has just said that he's changed his mind since Bush v. Gore, and now thinks that we should rethink this whole process, and it's very hard to change. As you know, it's
correct. No, I think the Electoral College is exactly the right process to look at a candidate and say, hey, we need to pull an emergency brake. Again, with Mr. Trump, you just had a brilliant foreign policy leader in Richard Haas on, who was talking about the Taiwan-Chinese gaffe. We had 50 Republicans who were national security experts and foreign policy experts during the campaign say that Mr. Trump was unqualified for office and a potential dangerous president. And perhaps that's a subjective issue, but objectively, as an elector, I can look at the emoluments clause and say, look, Mr. Trump, you are making sales calls when you conduct your foreign policy. That is expressly forbidden in the Constitution. That is a danger to our republic, and the Electoral College is here to do exactly what I think I'm doing, which is standing up and saying no.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Point of view. And coming up is